Welcome to beautiful Brazelton, Georgia, home to a legendary venue in North American road racing, Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. This weekend, it plays host to the 10-hour endurance classic, IMSA's Petit Le Mans. Today, we'll kick the weekend off with the final two races in the Porsche GT3 Cup, presented by Yokohama. Roman DeAngelis and the number 79 Kelly Moss Road and Race team have been utterly dominant in the Platinum class all season. His championship effort includes wins in 10 of the 14 races thus far, and while the 58-point gap to second place is insurmountable, Maxwell Root will be giving it his all in pursuit of victories this weekend. While in the gold class, NGT Motorsports driver Sebastian Carrasso has also taken victory in 10 of the 14 rounds, including a sweep last time out in Laguna Seca. The 4 rounds he hasn't won, he's finished on the podium. He'll secure the championship by merely starting race number 1. And not surprisingly, he'll start from the pole position. Now for a closer look at Road Atlanta, let's send it to John Hindhaugh and Jeremy Shaw for the call of the race.
Hello everybody and welcome to a beautiful morning here. It's our Fast Friday on the mortal Petit Le Mans weekend. The 27 drivers involved in our final round of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge are ready to go. It's the penultimate, the one from last, for the 2019 Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama. John Hindhaugh and Jeremy Shaw in the studio. We're at Road Atlanta, Brazelton. I suppose you'd say the spiritual home of IMSA. Just over 2.5 miles, 12 corners, passing areas, maybe into turn 1. Turn 6 and 7, definitely down the hill into turn 10A and B. But really, this is a tough circuit to make up positions. So if your championship chances are contingent on getting past some of your rivals, you might have to work pretty hard here this weekend. Yesterday, we had the first race of the weekend. Riley Dickinson in the 53 led the field away from pole position. Jeff Kingsley got the jump on the number 79 of Roman DeAngelis and got second position. Bill Smith getting together with Charlie Luck, who got the worst of that one. Vernon McClure going for a spin as well. Jeff Kingsley went wide, dropped down from second. The best battle of the day between the 99 of Alan Metney and Max Root in the number 7 car. Mirror to mirror, bumper to bumper. Metney held him off and claimed third position. At the front of the field, Dickinson was able to open up a 2-second gap to DeAngelis, and at the checkered, DeAngelis second, securing the championship. Dickinson takes the win in the 53 Mo-Speed car. Cars rolling out for their formation laps, which gives Jeremy Shaw, for the final time of 2019, the chance to run down our 27 cars for this final race of the year.
Unfortunately, we lost Randall Bryant yesterday to a problem in race 1, so there'll only be 8 Gold Cup contenders in this race, but there'll be a full field of 18 Platinum cars on the grid. 26th position on the grid will be car number 61 for Kelly Moss Road and Race. That's Wayne Ducote. Alongside him, Tom Kerr in car number 74 for TPC Racing. Row 12, Tom Balamis in car number 6 for Kelly Moss Road and Race. And for Goldcrest Motorsports in car number 92, Joseph Lombardo. Dan Hardy in car number 69 for TPC Racing. And David Brule for Kelly Moss Road and Race in car number 48 will share row 11. Ahead of them on the grid, Richard Edge in car number 18 for ACI Motorsports. His teammate Efren Castro in car number 65 will start alongside. Michael Manella will start 18th in car number 4 for MCR Racing, alongside his teammate, very good qualifying run for Bart Collins in car number 22. Jeff Mosing, the veteran, is in car number 68, former Platinum Masters champion for Top Racing in car number 68 is Jeff Mosing. Alongside him, Kurt Fazekas in car number 52 for Kelly Moss Road and Race. Vernon McClure will start in the 14th position for TPC Racing in car number 36, alongside the other ACI Motorsports entry, car number 17, Kurt Swearingen. Bill Smith in car number 42 for Top Racing in the 12th position on the grid, alongside Rob Ferriol in car number 5 for Moorespeed, second of the Gold Cup contenders. The Platinum Masters, car number 45, Wright Motorsports, Charlie Luck will start 10th, and the Gold Cup pole sitter for the 13th time in a row for NGT Motorsport. In car number 27 from Puerto Rico is Sebastian Carrazzo, the championship leader. Also from Puerto Rico, Victor Gomez the fourth, the teammate in a platinum class car number 25, will start in the 8th position alongside Fred Porter in car number 20 for Wright Motorsports. The outside of row 3, Sean McAllister for JDX Racing in car number 11. Alongside him is Alan Metney. On row 2, Maxwell Root and Jeff Kingsley in car number 7 and number 3 respectively. And on the front row, Roman DeAndres, the championship leader. And on the pole for the second day in a row is the youngster from Texas for more speed. Car number 53 is Riley Dickinson.
Green flag is in the air for the final time of the year, and the flat 6 engines move to peak revs, and we are underway for the IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge. USA by Yokohama. For a moment it looked like 3 wide going in the first corner. Max Root down the inside has made up a spot. He was looking for the lead there, but discretion, the better part of Valor, and he backed out of it. I thought that was a smart move there. He got a great start from row 2.
But Riley Dickinson from the pole position made a great initial start. It's a breakthrough weekend for Riley. He won yesterday from the pole position. He had the pole, but he was super conservative into turn 1 there, and that allowed Roman DeAndres, the championship champion-elect, to go around the outside and take the lead in car number 79.
Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Dickinson now under pressure in that mostly white car for second position, as Max Root is right in there in the blue, the multicolored blue and red car. Behind them, Jeff Kingsley, who was shuffled back from 3rd starting position to 4th in that early first corner melee. No touching though. Everybody got through it without the schmozzle that perhaps we were expecting. Dickinson from not the optimum line there. He was a Porsche width or maybe a little more towards the middle of the road to discourage Maxwell Root coming down the inside. Alan Metney, one of the stars of yesterday, sitting with Sean McAllister in front of him in the number 11 car, the white iFly car, 3rd overall yesterday and best in the Masters category. Fred Podard will be looking for a better race result from yesterday in the Masters category as well, and still leading the Gold Cup, the 27 of Sebastian Carrazzo. Brilliant start then from Dickinson as he went down to the first corner. Oh, there was a touch. There was a touch. Left front to right rear of Roman DeAngelis. Left front of Maxwell Root.
Yeah.
And it sort of pushed him by. And that now I can see the damage on the left front of Maxwell Root's car as well. Almost seemed that putting Roman DeAngelis offline put him round the outside of Dickinson, who was very conservative in turn 1.
He just braked. I mean, it's very quick, that first corner, particularly away from the rolling start here. You're not carrying full speed through turn 12, so you don't enter turn 1 with nearly the same speed as you do in the race conditions. He made a good start yesterday, did Riley Dickinson, but not today, and it's cost him there. And for Maxwell Root there, he's kind of lucky. Well, they're all lucky to get away with that because there was some contact, but they are continuing in a shuffled position. So here's Roman DeAndres that leads. Riley Dickinson with that breakthrough weekend, such as Maxwell Root had a couple of weeks ago, a couple of races ago at VIR. He scored his first pole and his first wins. That's what Riley Dickinson did yesterday.
DeAngelis then in the Kelly Moss Road and Race car with the green stripe down the middle, the handprints there as well. That's the Racing for Children. We've had that car here before, of course. Great to see that initiative helping just before the race there. Bumped into the guys behind that. They're doing great work. Look them up. Down through the S's, Sebastian Carrazzo in a car you can't miss from NGT. It's the highlighter yellow car with the trademark NGT orange stripe down the middle of it. He's leading the Gold Cup category for Gen 1 cars. All 991 category Porsches, that's the type number, all 911s of course, and you see 911 for the model number, you see 991 for the type number. We've just released the 992 street car, and eventually we will get that body style. But these Gen 1 cars are from 14 to 17, the Gen 2 cars in the Platinum class, Jeremy, with a few detail changes and a little bit extra power.
Yeah, a little bit of extra power. That never goes amiss, does it, for any racing driver? But Sebastian Carrazzo, the youngster, just 21 years of age, this is just his second season racing. He started midway through the 2018 season, but boy, he's been absolutely superb this season. As we see Bill Smith trying to make a move on Rob Ferriol a little bit further down the order. Rob Ferriol is running in second position in the Gold Cup category, trying to keep pace with Sebastian Carrazzo, who leads for NGT Motorsports.
Caller into the pits, and that is Michael Manella in the number 4 car, and that is terrible news for him. This is not a pit stop race, and so the white number 4 is in the pit lane, and I didn't see him getting assessed a penalty. So all I can assume is that there's a problem with the MCR racing car.
Says Bill Smith off the road. That's going to let Rob Ferriol through, and Jeff Mosing is going to try to make a pass as well as they head towards the chicane for this 6th lap. Meanwhile, in the lead, the top 3 cars still pretty closely matched. Bill Smith, he's going to defend that inside line.
Done well.
Yes, he has.
He was not favourite there at all.
Jeff Mosey's got a great exit. He's going to get the move done into turn 11. Nice move. That's experience for you from Jeff Mosey.
Yeah, Bill will cut back though. He gets a great run through the final corner, turn 12. Now can he get into the gap in the air that rhubarb and custard coloured car is making? Just a slight mistake by Bill Smith in that bright orange number 42 coming through turn 7. Darker piece of racetrack there is a sealant that's been put down, and there is more grip there, but Bill, the grip runs out when you get onto the red Georgia Claymate. The Yokohama tyres are fantastic, but they're not built for rally crossing, as Bill found out there. Ultimately, half a lap later, it cost him that position, and he drops down to 11th, and that is a position lost as well. That's a podium position loss for Bill in the Platinum Masters category. Yeah. Back to the scene of the crime here, Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeff Mosing, he had to work his way from the back of it. He did not take part in qualifying yesterday morning. As a result of that, he had to work from the back of the grid in yesterday's race, and the grid positions for today's race are set by either your second best lap during qualifying or your best lap of the race. Well, since Jeff didn't qualify, they had to use his race lap from yesterday. That was good enough only for 16th on the grid, so he's already moved his way up inside the top 10. That's Jeff Mosing in car number 68.
Going down under 35 minutes to go, so 10 minutes of racing already completed in the gap at the front of the field. Roman De Angelis to Riley Dickinson. 7/10 of a second.
Yeah, and these 3 leaders, they've been trading fastest laps the last few laps. It currently stands to a Maxwell Root, who a couple of laps ago turned a best of a 1:23.07. That is well underneath the old lap record that was set last year by Zachary Robichon.
Yeah, that's the Yokohama fastest lap at the moment for Maxwell Root, set on lap 5, 1:23.073, and a new race lap record then for the man in 3rd position in that number 7. We'll keep an eye on that. I've got a suspicion that as the fuel burns off, these Yokohama tyres work really, really well through the whole of the race. We might see that bettered later on if we can get the cars on a nice long run and the guys are dialing themselves in. We'll keep an eye on the Yokohama fastest lap in the next 34 minutes. We're currently standing to Maxwell Root in that slightly damaged number 7. Just slowing down, is it? Everybody will be looking at that and saying, has he got an aerodynamic advantage? Meantime, down at the bottom of the hill at turn 10, still a cracking battle going on for 12th position. Rob Ferriol has the number 36 of Vernon McClure behind him. Vernon with the very distinctive white and dark red stripes on the bonnet, actually reminiscent of the new Porsche Works colours that we've seen debuted in the FIA World Endurance Championship, although they've just got a single stripe over the top of the car. It's clean, I like it, it suits the shape of the 911 very much indeed, and Vernon McClure trying to get a little better result than he did in our first race this weekend. Beautiful weather, clear blue Georgia skies And hot action on the track with Roman De Angelis still only 7/10 away, and Riley Dickinson putting in his fastest middle sector. Here's the battle in the Masters category at turn 6. Jeff Mosing, having got past Bill Smith a couple or 3 laps ago, has not been able to pull away in the bright orange 42 Bill Smith car, battling for 3rd in Platinum Masters and 10th overall. As the leaders come through to complete another lap. That's not 7/10 of a second now, is it? No, it's half a second as they go across the line. Let's get back to the lead, Jeremy. We haven't seen Roman De Angelis for a little while. It's on the top of turn 5 at the moment, just in and out of the dappled light with the early morning shadows running down towards turn 6. It's half a second, you know. Riley Dickinson keeping our champion-elect. He'll be crowned at the Night of Champions tonight here at Road Atlanta. Always a great party atmosphere, fabulously competitive racing, but a great atmosphere in the IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama Paddock. And Dickinson is keeping our runaway championship leader honest right now. Not much further back is Max Root, about another second or so. Then Jeff Kingsley, 2.5 further back from that. Sean McAllister nearly 5 seconds away from 4th position. He sits in 5th at the moment. But these two young chargers, nice mix of drivers, as there always has been, Jeremy, in this championship, between young drivers looking for a career in sports car racing, looking to catch the eye, driving quite difficult to drive sports cars, the Porsche Cup cars, but particularly in the Platinum class. No driver aids as Vernon McClure goes round the outside of Ferriol, but Ferriol repels him. That's down again just outside the top 10 at the moment. That's the battle for 12th and 13th position. But a nice mix between young drivers, career-minded drivers, and guys who are still out there racing just for the fun of it, like Charlie Look in the 45 car.
Yeah, that's right. He made a comeback after many, many years out of racing. He raced as high as what is now the NASCAR Xfinity Series 20-odd years ago, but retired from racing to concentrate on the family business. And then a couple of years ago decided, hey, I miss this. Big buddies with Richard Petty amongst many other people in the NASCAR world, and Richard and Carl Petty. And Carl came to several of the races when Charlie was getting back into the sport, and he absolutely loves his racing. Had to miss the last couple of races at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, but he's come back here this weekend. It's been a bit of a struggle for him. Had some offs yesterday, and has already had a spin early on in this race, but now Charlie Luck in that car number 45 for Wright Motorsports is trying to work his way back up the order.
25 minutes to go.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this race. We haven't even yet reached the halfway point, and there's battles all the way up and down the field. The race leaders are lapping with super consistency. These two guys, Bill Smith and Jeff Mosing, they're having a tremendous battle for 10th position.
De Angelis has been the undoubted star. We've seen the last couple of 3 seasons, haven't we, Jeremy? One young driver who's taken this championship by the scruff of the neck. Always still difficult to move on from that and use it as a springboard. But I think particularly of drivers like Trenton Estep, who we saw do very well in this championship. And I wonder if Roman De Angelis is going to be another one of the drivers who are able to use this as a stepping stone in his career.
Yeah, no doubt, I think. And Riley Dickinson, who's shadowing him here, just, 5 or 6 car lengths back in second place, won the race yesterday, a breakthrough win for Riley. This is his first season of car racing in anything, to just come out of karting. And he's been, he came out of the box really, really strong at the first races of the season at Barber Motorsports Park, finished in second place for both of those. But he made that breakthrough win yesterday. I think it's done wonders for his confidence. He was a little bit cautious at the start here, that's cost him the lead, but he's matching Roman De Angelis in lap times every inch of the way so far. They're lapping very consistently at the front of the field, these two leaders. They've inched away just a little bit from Maxwell Root in third position, but he's only a second or so back there, and he's not out of this contest by any means.
Cars start heavy. They have to be. They're full of fuel. Fuel tank in the front of these Porsches, remember, rear engine, rear drive cars. And the teams set the cars up. Some drivers prefer to have the cars go very well when the cars are heavy. Some like this, well, they'll give up a little bit of pace at the start of the race to have a car that comes on well at the end when they feel they can make up some pace. But when you have a full green flag race, then that's a dangerous strategy to have, because the leaders can be too far out. The Yokohama tyres are extremely durable, and although Maxwell Root put the Yokohama fastest lap time in on lap 5, 1:23.0, last time around through traffic, Roman De Angelis was only on a 1:23.4, and Riley Dickinson was on a 1:24.2, so only a couple of tenths away from that Yokohama fastest lap that was put in on lap 5 by Max Root in the number 7 car.
Yeah, and Alan Metney, on that last lap, he's found his way around Sean McAllister, so Alan Metney now in car number 99 up into 5th position. And on that last lap around car number 53, Riley Dickinson, he had a little bit of traffic which cost him a fair bit of time. He's now all of a sudden a second and a half behind Roman De Angelis, so we'll see now whether he can haul back that deficit.
Tom Kerr just going a lap down to the leader. He's in 23rd position. Very distinctive red, white and blue car. Man from Tampa Bay, Florida for TPC Racing. The Vein and Vascular Institute of Tampa Bay supported car. Tom enjoying his racing this season. So the leader's embroiled in traffic. Is this the opportunity for Riley Dickinson? He's pulled back most of that second and a half, Jeremy, on this lap that he had deficit at the end of the last lap. It's Tom Balamis, who is the next guy to go a lap down. The Porsche Beechwood Kelly Moss Road and Race car with the light blue front end, yellow at the back. Don't count out Maxwell Root either. He's only a couple of seconds off the lead. Jeff Kingsley's closed in as well, 1.3 seconds away. Further back in 4th position, Alan Metney leads the Masters category in 5th position, but he's 9 seconds off the lead now as he's going to come up against that traffic shortly.
Yeah, but I think Metney is certainly last couple of laps after finding a way past Sean McAllister, he's certainly closing up on Jeff Kingsley.
Yeah, Jeff's just going past Tom Kerr now. In the race yesterday, it was noticeable, Jeremy, that Alan Metney's pace was very, very good in the last third of the race, which we're heading towards now. So he may be one of the drivers who says to his team, listen, I'll survive the first part of the race, but give me a car that's good when it's light and when it's on slightly worn Yokohama tyres, because he did race very, very well at the end yesterday. I was very impressed with Alan Metney.
Yeah, for another guy who started racing only a couple of seasons ago, he's made tremendously rapid progress. He's been on the overall podium 3 times already now this season.
Yokohama Tire has been the technical and marketing partner with the IMSA GT3 Cup Series since 2009. This partnership has fostered great competition in over 100 races and has enabled Yokohama to build a new ultra-high performance tire for the North American driving enthusiast. The Advan Apex is the latest chapter in Yokohama's performance tire story that began over 100 years ago.
Still 16 almost 17 minutes remaining in this race. There's still a long way to go, and Alan Metni is he's got his head. Yesterday we saw him kind of focusing on his mirrors, but when he put his focus forward, he was able to turn some really fast lap times. That's what he has to do right now. He's coached by Andrew Davis, local driver here to Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, so he knows this place like the back of his hand. And Alan Metni, as you were saying, John Hindhaugh, he's been a very good student.
Coming down into the last third of the race, about a minute away from the last 15 minutes. And Roman De Angelis has just got his head down the last few laps.
Yeah.
23 4s, 23 5s, very impressive indeed. And he stretched his lead, which was down to half a second over Riley Dickinson, what, 3 or 4 laps ago?
Yeah.
To 2.1 seconds now. And that takes some doing in cars that are identical in terms of performance.
He does, and you know, he's as you say, he's really focused on the job at hand here as Roman De Angelis, and he's edged out that lead. Just super consistent lap times he's turning. He's going to have to deal with some more traffic again in a few laps' time.
Yeah, lovely bit of respectful driving there by Bart Collins in one of the oldest cars in the race. We've got 2 2014 vintage cars here. That was the first year of the 991 Porsche Cup car. And Bart in the 22, the blue car, keeping well out the way of that lead battle. That's heads-up driving. And that'll be remembered, you know. There'll be times when he'll need a favour or two, and people will remember that if they're having a bad race and the back markers are not back markers anymore. The white and red, number 36. 11th position for Vernon McClure. And that is 4th place in the Masters category, and Jeff Mosing's behind Vernon now, so Jeff's lost another position. Was sitting in 3rd earlier on when he was having that battle with Bill Smith in the 42 car. Now these two are having the battle going through turn 1, and it's a good run by Vernon McClure, coming back from a bit of a disappointing run in the first race here at Road Atlanta. McClure sitting in that 36 car for TPC Racing. Number of really big teams here. Kelly Moss Road and Race, Wright Motorsports, JDX, NGT, More Speed, TPC Racing with multiple entries as well. Great looking paddock. If you ever get a chance to come to a racetrack when the IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama are part of the event, make sure you go and have a look around. Very welcoming paddock. The cars look great. Quite a lot, as I say, big teams running multiple entries, and it is a sight to behold. Very, very professional indeed, the way that these cars are run and how the whole operation is turned out. Drive yourself happy, it says on the back of Jeff Mosing's car. Well, at the moment, he's a little unhappy with where he is, off the podium in Platinum Masters and not inside the top 10 either. He'll not be very happy with that. Meantime,
I wonder whether he just pushed a little bit too hard too soon, because he made up 8 positions in the first few laps, and now he's slipped a couple.
Richard Edge in the ACI Motorsports 18 car, going a lap back to the 2 leaders there. Got to keep his eyes peeled for the next car through. He's having a battle with David Brule in the 48, sitting in behind him, but he's managed to let the leaders go through. It's a cracking pace being set at the front of the field. Remember, Maxwell Root set the Yokohama fastest lap time. We're back on lap number 5. They're in traffic now. It was a 1:23.0. They've been down in the late 23s and now into the mid-34s, and off has gone the number 22, that very pretty blue car. Bart Collins, who was doing his best to stay out the way of the leaders. The red Georgia clear dust in the air. And did he jump or was he pushed? It's turn 1 and he jumped. Lost the back end of that car. I think he was letting somebody through, Jeremy. He got offline there. So trying to do the right thing hasn't been the right decision for Bart. He stays well out the way, and in fact he's off the track again because he's Yokohama's at turn 2. Well, they barely look as if they're black underneath the wheel arches there. They still had a lot of clay on them. It'll take him half a lap or so He won't be able to push as hard as he wants to, but I think he got away without hitting anything there, Jeremy.
Yeah, and that's not easily done at turn one, I can tell you.
Fast turning, isn't it?
It certainly is. Just trying to follow someone through there, I think, and just carried a little bit too much speed. Hey, look, that's the way you learn. You've got to find out where the limits are, and the real trick to that is not hitting anything while you're doing so.
He's about to lose a position to Wayne Ducote there as they went into turn number 7, Wayne in the grey number 61 car. Meantime, the leaders are picking their way through traffic and now go past Dan Hardy. Bit of a dent right in the middle as well over the O in Yokohama. Yokohama tyres, the control tyre for this series and has been for a wee while. Also looks after the tyre requirements for IMSA's Canadian GT3 Cup Challenge, which means a couple of times a year we bring the two series together because they both race on the same tyres, and those are effectively super events. Still everyone scoring points in their own championship, but a massive field of cars, very entertaining indeed. We've covered a couple of those for you this season. So under 10 minutes to go now, and it's Roman De Angelis at Road Atlanta in the final race of the season, a season where he will pick up the big trophy for the Platinum Championship in the IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama. Is he cruising to a final victory of the year in the 16th race of the season? Well, he might be getting towards it, but he's not being allowed to cruise because Riley Dickinson has been pushing him all the way without getting alongside him and challenging him. But make no mistake here, Jeremy Shaw, these two are racing as if they were door handle to door handle. 10th here, half a 10th there. They're back down into the 23s again. 23.2 last time around by Riley Dickinson is just 0.2 of a second on 26 lap old tyres away from Maxwell Roots, Yokohama fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, very impressive speed at this stage in the race by the youngster there. Well, they're both youngsters. Riley Dickinson is a massive 18 years of age, and Riley Dickinson just 17, the youngest driver in the field. And with that victory yesterday, he's got the confidence. He knows that he's got a fast car at the end of this. Whoops, there's Joseph Lombardo off the road. He was running in the 18th position. That's up at the top of the hill in turn 3. He's lost control there, spun around and just sort of kind of nudged up against the tires. With a bit of luck, he'll be able to keep that engine running and get back into the fray again. Let's have a look, see what happened. Yeah, just...
now that was too much right foot. Didn't perhaps hit the curb too hard on the inside of turn 3, but just got on the power too early. Always better to go gear higher through there so you don't get wheel spin, particularly as the tyres are starting to wear, as it was. Sebastian Carrazzo, by the way, the 27, the bright highlight yellow car with the orange stripe, is still leading GT3 gold category as Lombardo does get going again. And Alan Metney still fighting with Sean McAllister as they go down to turn 10 in the Georgia Sunshine. Oh, big move down the outside by McAllister. Can he get the cut back? Can't. Great grip as Lombardo is moving again, and no need to interrupt the race. The leader's just coming through that area. Is Dickinson just a little closer again?
He is, because he's just at the fastest lap of the race. A new lap record for Riley Dickinson, 1:23.034.
So the Yokohama fastest lap now, standing on lap 27. How good are these Yokohama tyres in terms of delivering performance consistently throughout the whole of this relatively long race? 1:23.034, a new race lap record. And Roman De Angelis knows he's got a real fight on in the last 6 minutes. It's down to just over a second with Riley Dickinson in second position. Charlie Luck will be the next car to go a lap down. He's in 16th position.
Yeah, and it's going to be a few laps, I think, before they find Charlie. Oh, well,
no, he's there.
Caught him already. Oh, right.
Yeah.
I'm sure Charlie will let them go. He'll see that there's the two leaders are behind him, and he will get out of the way and let them get on with their battle. But going down to turn 12 is not the place to do that. They're going to catch him though. They're heading towards turn 1, at least the race leader, Roman DeAngelis is, and you know, Charlie keeps his line. Just over a second between the two leaders, and there's no doubt now that Charlie Luck is holding up. He didn't do what I thought he would do. He did not let Roman DeAngelis make an easy pass on him. In fact, he's making it very, very difficult, and there's going to be no way, I don't think, that Roman DeAngelis can make a move going down through the S's. So that has enabled Riley Dickinson to get right onto the tail of the race leader with 5.5 minutes remaining.
We know that Riley Dickinson in that number 53 Mo-Speed car has got the pace. How do we know that? Because he is currently the holder of the Yokohama fastest lap at 1:23.034. He did that 1 lap ago. This is not going to be near that mark that was set, that new lap record, because of the traffic, but it's brought him into contention. It was over 2 seconds not so very long ago. Now it's under half a second as we head into the last 3 laps of this race. It is a timed race, not a lap race, and it will depend where these guys are when the time elapses. Yeah. 4 minutes 20 to go. Keep an eye on the clock in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, I reckon probably 3 laps to go in this race. So there's plenty of time here for Riley Dickinson.
DeAngelis really pushing on both of these young drivers on the limit and over it, dangling the Yokohama left-hand side tyres over the wrong side of the curb as they came down through the middle part of the S's, hanging in the air as the curb ran out. Didn't actually touch the grass because they were on and off those curbs so quickly. Down into turn 7 now, furthest part of the track away from us here on the start-finish line. And there's no doubt from the body language of the car that DeAngelis and Dickinson are fighting this out. Can Dickinson have a delightful double this weekend, or will the championship leader Roman DeAngelis spoil the party for the 53 driver? It's a run to the championship for Roman DeAngelis. He locks up going down into turn 10 here. That's the pressure. He's not hard. Oh, there's a spin right in front of him, as well as Efren Castro's gone around in the 65 car. That was almost both of the leaders picked up there across the line. DeAngelis has not had many races where he's been challenged, Jeremy, and he's going to have to show his mettle here. He's been able to drive away. He has come back through the field a couple of times, but this is real pressure now. And Dickinson already, I would say, staking his claim to next year's championship with the drives we've seen from him this weekend. He'll be hot property.
Yeah, he will, and he's come on so far this season. Started off really, really strong, had a kind of bit of a lull in the middle of the year, but he's come on strong at the end, and that confidence for the win yesterday, that'll really boost his momentum as he heads into the off-season. And he'll do a lot of testing over the winter, and he'll come out strong in the beginning of 2020.
I just think Dickinson's got a slightly better car underneath him at this point. He's turning the lap times without having to use quite as much of the Road Atlanta circuit, its curbs, and possibly a little bit of the Georgia Clay that our leader, Roman DeAngelis, is. 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Make that 2 minutes down. Another lock up from the left front Yokohama, and that's going to happen time after time now. He may have flat spotted that tyre, and they're as close as they've been since the drop of the green flag, which was 42 minutes ago. Across the line, no white flag. This one and one more, I reckon. Through turn 1, Dickinson 2/10, call it 3/10 of a second as they went across the line. This is magnificent stuff. Dickinson's got a better car.
He has.
I think he's held on to his Yokohama tyres better than Roman DeAngelis, and we've seen Roman lose races this year, Jeremy, when he's not been able to manage his tyres. I think back to VIR.
Yeah, that's very true, and certainly Riley Dickinson has done a really good job of keeping that car underneath him. But Roman is focused. You know, he's going to be the champion, but he desperately wants to win this race and win the championship by winning the motor race as well. That's a perfect way to put a crown on your head.
Kelly Moss Road and Race from Mo-Speed in second, from Wright Motorsports in third, then JDX Racing So they're four of the big teams at the front of the field. If anything, Dickinson's car maybe not quite as quick in a straight line, and maybe that's why the tyres are going on Roman's car. They may have trimmed it out a little more, and that'll make it slide a little bit through the twisty stuff. Just speculation here from me. It will be white flag. 2.54 miles of the 2019 IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama remain, and two young chargers are fighting for the last top step of the podium of the season. De Angelis has the championship within his grasp. He's won that. He'll take the big trophy. But the man to watch is the 53 car in second. Riley Dickinson, already looking good for next year, has really stamped his authority on this Road Atlanta Motul Petit Le Mans race weekend. A race win on Thursday, fast Friday here. Halfway through the final lap, he's in second. He's got one more go. He's got to be close down into turn 10. He knows that De Angelis has got a problem with his left front tyre because he's locked it up a couple of times, and as the tyre rotates, if there's any kind of flat spot there, it'll stop there again. And De Angelis may have to be just a little more conservative, and he's braking down the hill into turn 8. 10-8, no ABS on these platinum cars. He's got enough. De Angelis has got enough now. He's worked it absolutely perfectly. It's not a repeat of VIR. He's timed his run to the victory perfectly, and he will take the last victory of the year, along with the championship in the IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama, and finishes the season in style with Dickinson at the line, just half a second back in second. Maxwell Reed will come through in third position. There he goes in front of us now. Jeff Kingsley in fourth. Alan Metney will be in fifth and take the Platinum Masters category. And Sebastian Carrazzo inside the top 10 again with the older version of the car. He's got half a lap to go. He's at turn 7 now, and he will take the gold category win and the championship in the gold category as well. Phew-ee. Fastest lap, the Yokohama fastest lap on lap 27, by the way, by Riley Dickinson in that car that finished second on his chase back to Roman De Angelis. Great stuff. And Sebastian Carrazzo, he finishes his championship year with a win as well.
Yeah, it's been a perfect end of the season for the championship winners. He still hasn't taken the checkered flag, but here now comes Sebastian Carrazzo, the youngster, from 21-year-old from Guaynabo in Puerto Rico. He takes the checkered flag to officially become the Gold Cup champion for 2019.
Welcome back to Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, where the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA season is in the books. Let's hear from the winners and the class champions, Roman De Angelis and Sebastian Carrazzo.
I don't think I've ever pushed the car or the tires that hard, so thanks for not, blowing up, I guess. But yeah, I can't thank Kelly Moss, Medical Properties Trust, Race for Children's Hospital Alabama enough again. What we've done the last 2 years, I think, has been pretty impressive, especially the last year, 11 out of 16 wins. They've helped me on the other side of the border as well. So last year I wanted to win races, not a championship, it seemed like. So just changed my mindset a bit and look for more consistent finishes.
Very grateful for the entire year. I feel great, really. It was a long race. Yesterday was a really tense race, but it's been a great year all throughout. We got 12 wins out of the 16 races. The team has made that possible, really. They gave me a great car for the entire year.
Not the side-by-side finish, but plenty of action. Roman De Angelis, a worthy champion, and a championship season par excellence.
Yeah, 11 wins for the season for Roman De Angelis out of 16 races. That's a dominant champion for you. And just 18 years of old, from Belle River in Ontario, Canada. A real talent of the future is this young man. And no doubt also Riley Dickinson and Maxwell Root, conceivably, who finished in third position as well.
I think you'd say that was a pretty successful 2019 and a name to remember. 16 glorious races for the Flat 6 IMSA Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA by Yokohama engined cars. Fantastic stuff. And he's been front to back, top to bottom, one of the most exciting seasons that Jeremy Shaw and I have seen. This year belongs to Roman De Angelis.
With that, we put a bow on the 2019 Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge USA season. We'd like to congratulate the champions Roman De Angelis and Sebastian Corazzo. For John Hindhoff and Jeremy Shaw, I'm Lee Diffie. We hope you'll join us again in 2020 for another action-filled Porsche GT3 Cup Championship season right here on NBCSN.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of the International Motorsports Association. We would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.